Hey everybody, it's the Mad Master here. I'm doing another video, and this one might be a little bit controversial, and I don't really care because that's the way it goes. So everybody knows probably by now what's going on in the world with this virus thing, the coronavirus, COVID-19. Unless you literally live in a cave, which sometimes I wish I was in a cave right now, being on some rocks or something. So I just wanted to say this. There's this narrative going around in a lot of the articles that really bothers me and makes me think that you know while there is legitimate reason to fear this virus, of course, and there's a lot of reasons for that, of course, that there's undue focus on what's going to happen post virus that makes it seem like it's going to change everything forever. Oh my God. It's like this weird fear narrative that some of these articles, the tone of the articles have. And I feel like that's really a bad way to think about this and go about this. For one thing, what this reminds me of, and so they talk about the new norm. The new normal. You can't shake hands anymore. You can't go out with crowds of people. So there's these articles coming out like that called the new normal, try to scare us, right? So that's one thing to talk about the new normal, as a temporary thing, but they're talking about what will happen afterward. We won't have big gatherings anymore. It's just like the tone of these articles, like we won't date the same way. We'll all be attached to our computers and our phones even more. Wow, that's a great thing to encourage, huh? So the problem I have with some of these articles is they feed right into the conspiracy theories that are out there too about the virus. Like they're trying to get us to be, like Alex Jones might talk about like transhumanism, and they're trying to eliminate some of the population, or they're trying to get us all hooked up to the computers for when the singularity comes. All these stuff that go. There's all these things going on. I'm watching a lot of these videos. James Corbett has some stuff about the banking system trying to consolidate its power, and all these different things. So when they talk about like how this is a permanent thing with social distancing, permanent, that really bothers me. And I mean, it's just simply not true. People are going to go back to what they did before. Of course, I believe in good ways and bad ways. They'll do that, of course. So it's always a good thing and it's always a bad thing as well. So I think the whole thing, just in short, is I think these articles do not serve humanity well by writing that this is a permanent thing, social distancing or whatever. And it's for selfish reasons too. I'll admit, like, I don't want this to be a permanent thing either. But these articles, they feed into clickbait and fear, and this fear consciousness is these people might say who are more on the new age side. So that's what I got to say. Another thing that reminds me of is like 9/11 changed everything. No, it didn't. That reminds me of that. Like, this will change everything. They always say that. 9/11 didn't change everything. It changed a couple of things really bad, but people saw through the bullshit after a certain amount of time. I mean, Bush's approval rating was like 20% or 30% or something at the worst of the Iraq war. I mean, it didn't change everything, but they said that immediately after 9/11. I was dating this girl like a long time ago. It was hilarious. She made this joke. On Facebook, what her political position was is 9/11 changed everything. It was a joke. I know it was a joke, knowing her, but it just made me laugh because as people have said that, she would have been actually like only about like 13 or 14 when 9/11 happened. Anyways, that girl. But I didn't date her during 9/11. Don't worry. Dated her way later when she was an adult. So, but yeah, it was pretty funny that 9/11 changed everything. People said that. This changes everything. Oh my God, this huge disaster will change how we do everything in the world. It's fucking stupid. People are, and they're saying or everybody's gonna date on FaceTime and not ever meet up, and just You know, send sperm in the mail if you want to have kids. It's just fucking hysterical bullshit. And I'm not saying that not, you know, that doing this stuff temporarily not a smart move. That said, there was a paper I read from the New England Journal of Medicine today that said if we find a certain amount of people are asymptomatic from coronavirus, COVID-19, it will be very similar to certain flu strains that have come in the past, like 1968, which did kill a huge bunch of people. But we didn't, you know, 68 was a time of like protests and all sorts of stuff. You know, it's like they didn't close down the country because of the 68 virus. But I think the communicability is the main thing with this one. But the conspiracy theorists are partially right too, because there are people trying to take advantage of this. Powers that be are trying to pass bills, you know, about surveillance and all this stuff, and they wanted probably they've had on the shelf for a long time. They've wanted to consolidate their power, so they're partly right, the conspiracy theorists. But anyways, that's all I gotta say. Please subscribe, maybe share this video. I just, you know, have this message about this whole thing, these stupid articles and these stupid ideas, you know. And I guess I was scared, you know, I was scared of dating when I was really deeply into the crackdown on the manosphere and talk about like how approaching women is bad because it's, you know, street harassment. So, you know, I'm not gonna buy into the narrative per se that COVID-19 is going to change everything. We'll be wearing full hazmat suits going to the restaurant. There won't be no more concerts in person anymore. No, fuck you. That's all I got to say.